Hi, I'm Jeff, and welcome to another one of my videos where I take a look at all the new comic books coming out on either April 19th or 20th, 2022. And I ask myself the question, what one new comic book would I buy this week if I could buy just one book? As I'm recording this video today, it is Easter Sunday. Happy Easter to all of you who celebrate Easter, or Passover if you celebrate Passover, or Ramadan if you celebrate Ramadan, or nothing if you aren't into celebrating any of those things. But I hope, regardless, you're having a great weekend. Let's go ahead and jump right into the content of this video. First, by taking a look back to my pick from 2 weeks ago, which was X-Men Red, issue number 1. And the question remains, was it a worthy and worthwhile book to be my just one book pick of the week? The answer is, yeah. Kind of. It was a slow week. It was a lackluster week. It was a week where I had a hard time picking any one book as a standout. That being said, after reading all the books that came out 2 weeks ago, X-Men Red was a pretty good read. Now, it did have some of the problems that I have with X-Men titles in general these days, and that is, it was pretty heady, and it seemed pretty political, for lack of a better term, and that is, I've seen a lot of that in X-Men titles. It's not just about some kind of cosmic or earthbound bad guy to fight. There's a lot of kind of like inner turmoil and, once again, politics amongst the mutant population itself. That being said, this was an interesting one to me. I like the group that they're kind of putting together on this one. The focus seems to be on Sunspot, Magneto, and Storm. All very cool and interesting characters. Basically, I don't like spoilers and I don't want to give too much away, but basically Abigail Brand is trying to put together a team of mutants, an X-Men team, for the new planet of, I believe it's pronounced Arakko, or what is the terraformed Mars. And some of the mutants on the planet are kind of like, nah, I'm not so down with that. So they're going to kind of go in a different direction. They don't feel like the planet needs an X-Men team. So they have a different idea about it. It will be interesting to see where it goes. It was interesting enough to me, and the characters themselves were interesting enough to me, that I think I will stick with it and check out at least issues number 2 and 3, and then decide where to proceed from there. If you read X-Men Red, I'd be really interested in hearing your impressions of it down in the comments. And by the way, thanks to all of you who have been leaving comments. I've been really bad over the past few weeks when it comes to responding to these comments, but I read every single one, and you do not know how much I truly do appreciate them. So if you have anything to say, let me know, specifically if it has to do with your impression of X-Men Red issue number 1. All right, let's move forward and taking a look at the new books that are coming out this week. Now, usually I do 5 honorable mentions and my just one book pick of the week. But this is another rather slow week. I am only pulling 2 books. And in addition to that, there were really only 2 other books that I felt deserved any sort of mention in this week's video. So I will have this week 3 honorable mentions and then my just one book pick of the week. Let's go ahead and jump right in with my first honorable mention, which is a new book called Dark Beach from Behemoth Comics. This is issue number 1. It's a brand new series. Here's the description. Earth has been drifting away from the sun for 300 years, but that doesn't stop Gordo, a crime scene photographer living inside the dome-protected city of New Reykjavik, from dreaming about its warm glow. Is the sun as dangerous as the NRCE, New Reykjavik Corps of Engineers, led everyone to believe, or will a murderer rife with old sun, mystery throw Gordo down a rabbit hole to find the truth. A murder rife with old sun, mystery throw Gordo down a rabbit hole to find the truth. I don't know who write these things. Sometimes they're really convoluted. And this one qualifies. But let's go ahead and boil it down. The Earth is moving away from the sun. And that's, of course, turning the climate into turmoil. For some reason, they're living in Reykjavik, which is in Iceland, which is already a cold place. So you would think on an Earth that was moving away from the sun, you'd want to go to the hottest climates, not to some of the coldest like they've apparently chosen to here. There are some problems in this description and in this plot for me, but once again, it's a light week. So this was one of the few books that even had any kind of interesting, redeeming qualities to it. But you know, it's about a far-off world where the climate is in an extreme state. I could see interesting storytelling coming from that. They're a crime scene photographer, and there's a murderer, apparently. That's pretty typical and average. Am I excited about this book? No. Is it kind of sort of interesting? Yeah. I mean, if you're really looking for something to check out this read and something new to read this week, and you want to go indie and just try something new, I guess this one would be worth checking out. I'm not really selling it because I'm not particularly interested. Once again, it's a light week, and I got to talk about something, right? Speaking of which, the next thing that I feel like I got to talk about is a new book. This book is Captain America, issue number 0 from Marvel Comics. Here's the description. When Arnim Zola launches a catastrophic attack on New York City, he meets his match in Sam Wilson and Steve Rogers. In the explosive battle that follows, 2 Captain Americas prove better than one, and Sam and Steve decide they might just keep a good thing going. Tochi Onyebuchi, Jackson Lansing, and Colin Kelly, and Mattia de Lulis kick off an incredible new Captain America saga, and you won't want to miss what comes next. Okay, well, we've got a brand new Captain America saga. Great. This description is not giving me much to get excited about. Surprisingly enough, Sam Wilson and Steve Rogers save the day, as is alluded in this description. No surprise. That has happened time and time again. And so I guess all we're really getting from this description is that it's a new Captain America title. Seems like Sam Wilson and Steve Rogers will be teaming up in this title and working together. Okay, fine. This isn't issue 0 for a series that will be starting with in issue number 1. So this is probably basically just kind of, issue 0s are often kind of like origins. So I guess this is setting up where the series will go once it starts properly with issue number 1. So all I can say about this is that if you're a Captain America fan, be it a Steve Rogers Captain America or a Sam Wilson Captain America, this might be a book worth checking out. And if you're not a Captain America fan, it's a definite pass for you. Once again, did I mention it's a slow week? Oh yeah, I did. And hence I'm mentioning books like this that are new, but other than that, aren't particularly compelling. The next book, though, is something that I do like very much, and it's the first of 2 books that I will be pulling this week. My next honorable mention is The Nice House on the Lake, issue number 8 of 12 from DC Black Label. Here's the description. With Walter living among his friends in the house, has the impossible happened? Have their lives actually improved? Perhaps for some. But how are things going for the one housemate whose place Walter took? Okay, So basically, it's another issue of The Nice House on the Lake. And for those of you who have watched these videos on the regular, thank you very much to all of you who do. You know I'm a big fan of James Tynion IV, and I am especially a big fan of The Nice House on the Lake. The mystery, the intrigue, the situation, everything that's going on in this book is very compelling to me, and it's a title that I'm always excited to check out every single month when it comes out, because I can't wait to see where the story is going to go next. So I am very excited about this book. That being said, I will mention that if you have not picked up issues number 1 through 7, I would recommend that you do, but it might be a stronger recommendation that you just wait for this to come out in a trade. I actually think that, I've mentioned before that some people have an issue with the pace of this story, and of course the effects of the pace are kind of exasperated by the fact that it comes out monthly, and that there was a huge break between issues number 6 and 7. So it feels especially slow. And I think that reading this from issue number 1 to 12, when they're all collected together, might actually be the best way to experience this story. But there's also something to the fact that it comes out monthly, and that I'm forced to kind of wait and just kind of soak and sit in what's going on with these characters for a while, from issue to issue. So anyways, I've said enough about it. I enjoy it a lot. I wouldn't hesitate to mention it every month when it comes out. And so in a slow week, it is easily something that I can at the very least give an honorable mention to. So, with my 3 honorable mentions out of the way, it is now time for me to tell you about the one book that I would buy this week if I could buy just one book. And this book was a no-brainer this week. That book is Hulk, issue number 6 from Marvel Comics. Here's the description. Smashtronaut, part 6 of 6. The first arc of Donny Cates and Ryan Ottley's mind-blowing Hulk saga reaches its epic climax as Bruce Banner's control over Starship Hulk slips, and something much worse takes the wheel. That's it. Okay, so Hulk is a title that I have mentioned in these videos and have had as my pick multiple times. I like it a lot. I fully acknowledge that this title by Donny Cates is over the top. It is extreme with a capital extreme. But that is part of what is so fun and so entertaining about it for me. So I really, really like the Hulk title. That and because of that, I've been paying close attention. And months ago, 2 to 3 months ago, I, as well as many other people, I'm not alone on this, saw the potential for something significant to happen in issue number 6. And I thought I was so smart that my spec radar was on point. And so I went to my LCS months ago. Generally speaking, they only like to sell 1 copy of a book per cover, one of each cover to their subscribers. And I told them, why? If I want 100 copies of something, why don't you order 100 copies of it and give me 100 copies of it? And they thought about it and they're like, yeah, as long as it's pre-FOC, right? So I didn't order 100 copies, but I did ask for 5 copies of this book in particular, and they agreed. Why? Because it really seemed like the character, the Black Hulk, or what they were calling at the time, the Hulk version of Null, would be making their first full appearance in this issue. So I ordered it, and I've been sitting on it and waiting for it. Well, then about a month and a half ago, they basically just said, yeah, He's coming. Titan is coming. Titan is coming in issue number 6. Make sure you order issue number 6 because Titan is coming. Prepare. Titan is coming, and that's what's happening in this book. Titan is coming. This evil, dark, powerful version of Hulk is apparently making their first full appearance in this issue. That basically killed the spec on this book in a major way, because nobody is going to be surprised by the first appearance of this character at this point. In issue number 3, when there was a cameo, people were surprised by that. They didn't see that coming, so people were trying to get their hands on it. Now, anybody who's been paying attention at all knew way before FOC to hopefully order up on this. So there are going to be a ton of these out here. There's a ton of exclusives. There's just, the print run of this is going to be through the roof, and everybody's going to have it. The spec on it is probably not completely dead, but it is significantly hindered by the fact that nobody's going to be surprised about this. The copies of this are going to be through the roof. So we're just going to have to see what happens with this character, Titan. Is Titan a big enough deal that having multiple copies of this book will have value down the line, regardless of the fact that there are going to be hundreds and thousands of copies of these printed? We'll see. I'm still gonna get my 5 issues of this and just kind of file them away and see what happens. But I am going to try to switch out 2 or 3 of them for the spoiler variant that is going to be coming out for this title. I actually could have provided the image for the spoiler variant, but I am sensitive to spoilers and revealing spoilers, so I don't want to show you the spoiler variant. All I'm going to say is that it is probably a good one to get, if not the one to get. Of the ones that you can get for cover price that aren't like ratios or anything like that, or store exclusives, I would say probably the A cover and the spoiler cover are the ones to go out after. So I'm going to try to switch 2 or 3 of my A covers for the spoiler variant. But once again, who knows? There may or may not be value down the line, but I'm going to honor my pre-order regardless of the fact that now everybody and their mother, practically literally, are aware that this book is coming out. So the reasons to get Hulk issue number 6 is that the Hulk book has been great. It's been really fun. It's been really entertaining, and this is confirmed the first full appearance of Titan. And Titan seems like it could be a very cool and powerful character moving forward. So it's worth it from a reading standpoint and from a speculation standpoint. So that is why Hulk issue number 6 is my just one book pick of the week. All right, well, that's my video this week. Last week, I mentioned that I tend to get about 12 likes per week, and I was challenged all of you to get that number up to 13, and you did. I did get 13 likes on my last video, so thank you for that 13th person who went ahead and hit that like button. I'm going to challenge you again and see if we can't get to 14 likes with this video. It might be a pity like, but do it anyways. Come on, why not? As always, as well, if you haven't already subscribed, I invite you to subscribe, but make sure you hit that notification bell so you're informed about when I put out videos at random. Once again, thank you so much for watching this video. I'll see you all in the next one.